Alright, what's up guys, it's Simon. Today I want to go over how one simple mindshift literally 4x our client's business. Because recently I made a video about how we were getting 1 to 2 calls a day after launching the funnel for our client Antonio. It's this video right here. And I showed you how we were getting these costs per profile visit on our follower ads that we were running. But what we actually did a couple of days ago is we launched a new ad with different copy just to test. And we made this one way more targeted, more directly, calling out the market. And it was all overall way more direct and way more niched, way more specific. And we split that ad budget in half and we launched it alongside the old ad that we had. And literally, as we launched that ad, we noticed that the cost per lead was a lot higher with that one ad, right? The new ad is sitting at about 30 cents, 31, 32 cents per profile visit, which is like close to triple what this ad was getting for us, right? However, right after we launched that one ad, we noticed that we immediately started booking more calls overall. All right, so on the 31st, which is a day or two after we launched, I think we launched this around the 28th, 29th, maybe even the 30th. But anyway, we launched, and then on the 31st, we booked 7 calls in like 24 hours. Then on Monday, which was the 30th, we had 7 calls. Tuesday, we had 5 calls coming up. Wednesday is the closer's day off, so there's no calls here. But then on Thursday, we have 6 calls. Friday, 3 calls lined up so far. And this screenshot was taken on the Monday, right? So it's fair to say that we're gonna fill these calendars up pretty dang fast, right? So we literally 3x'd our call volume so far, and on some days we're even 4x in it because like this day is 7 calls, and we already have 6 calls on the Thursday, and there's still a couple of days left for that calendar to fill itself up. Right now, we just got to see how this impacted lead quality and closing rates, and then we're just gonna double down on that ad, right? Because there's no point getting more calls if the closing rate is gonna go down, the lead quality is gonna go down, and you're gonna make less money overall, right? So that's what we're testing right now. But to be honest, I feel like the lead quality actually should have gone up because the ad is way more targeted and we're paying more per lead. But we're just making sure that that doesn't happen because we're not optimizing for calls, we're optimizing for money in the bank, right? So what is the mind shift that I'm talking about? It's going from component-based thinking to systems thinking. Okay, so component thinking is looking at a single component or a piece of a system without seeing how it impacts the whole system, right? So, for example, people who are component thinkers, they are people who focus strictly on their landing page conversion or on their cost per lead or on their call volume, right? And they don't see how all these little pieces interconnect into one whole system, right? So this connection, right? They see every single one of these things as a separate entity that has no impact on all these other parts of the system, right? Whereas systems thinking zooms out and it looks at the whole, right? So it sees how everything here is interconnected, right? Because as a business owner, you don't care about your cost per lead, right? What you care about is the money in your bank account, right? Which is the ultimate output of the system. So as you can see on this beautiful graphic I created, right? We have inputs, then we have the system where everything is interconnected, right? These are all the processes that happen throughout the system, and then we have the output, right? And all we really care about is maximizing the output for the input that we put in, right? The more output we can get for each input, the better the funnel or the better the system, right, that we have, right? So we can't isolate a component of a system and try to make it better without looking at how it interplays with every other part of the system, okay? So in our example, the input is the ad spend that we're putting in. The process is the cost per click, the calls, the landing page conversion rate, the opt-in rates, the booking rates, all that sort of stuff, right? And then the output is the money in the bank account, so your cost to acquire a customer, and then your lifetime value of the customer, right? So what people don't realize is that all these little processes in the middle, they mean absolutely nothing, okay? When we look at the cost per click, we never actually want to optimize for the cost per click. What we're seeing is how the cost per click will affect the output. Okay, so the processes are just little things, little variables in between that we can play with. We can play with the cost per click. We can play with the landing page conversion rate, right? But if the landing page conversion rate raises, our output could go down, and all we care about is the output. Whereas if our cost per click, well, Antonio, it went up, right? It like tripled. However, we are now also booking more calls, and hopefully this will lead to more conversions, which is the output, right? Which is what we're actually optimizing for, okay? So when optimizing the components of a system, so for example, the landing page conversion rate, we're not actually optimizing for the highest landing page conversion rate. We could not care less what the conversion is. Because what if the change in the landing page causes lower quality people to come in, right? That means you're going to make less money. And there have been many cases where 15% opt-in page converts better than a 40% opt-in page. This is very important right here, that a shift in the landing page will impact every other part of the system that comes after the landing page, right? Because everything in marketing and business is interconnected. So we can't just optimize the landing page conversion rate and expect our funnel to automatically become better, right? That means absolutely nothing. What we have to do is we have to look at how the change in the landing page conversion rate and in the copy on the landing page impacts our output, which is how much money we're making, and your lifetime value of the customer, right? So everything in marketing and in business is interconnected. We are optimizing for CAC, which is cost of acquiring customer, and this is exactly what we did with Antonio, right? The cost per click went up, but that meant we got more qualified and ready to buy people, which means that our output actually improved. So all we're looking at is what is the input and what is the output, and all these little processes in the middle mean absolutely nothing. They're simply tools that we can mess around with to tweak and optimize the whole. And what we're looking at now is how this burst of calls we are getting will impact the lead quality and the closing rate, right? Because if those two go down, then this call volume means absolutely nothing, okay? But since we already have a few people coming in and we can already see the quality, it actually seems to have gone up too, right? As I said earlier, the more targeted you make an ad, it's natural that you're going to get more qualified people in. Your cost per lead may go up, but if that in the end means that you're going to make more money, I'm happy to pay more per lead, right? Because that system as a whole is still more effective and I'm still making more money, which is the ultimate goal, right? So you may be paying more for a profile visit or a link click or a DM, right? But remember, we do not care about that. What we're looking at is what is the input, what is the output, and how can we tweak the processes in the middle, right? These little processes to optimize the whole and to get a better output for the input that we are putting in. So when you're analyzing your funnel and trying to find what you can improve, don't just look at the pieces separately, right? Just because you improved your landing page's conversion rate doesn't mean that you improved your funnel. And just because you put out a new ad with a lower cost per lead does not mean that you improved your funnel, okay? What you want to do is, instead of changing 50 variables at a time and looking at the components separately, like here, try and improve this, try and improve this, try and improve this, realize that this is all interconnected, right? And all these things, they may not work together well if you just focus on them separately, right? So what you want to do is you want to change one of these little variables and then see how that impacts the whole, okay? And then after you see how the whole was impacted, after you made that one variable, then you can decide whether it was a good change or not, right? Which is what we're doing with Antonio. So that's basically going to be it for this video. It was a pretty dang short one today, but I just wanted to go over this because I think it was crucial and it's going to continue to be crucial with us scaling and scaling our clients' businesses too, right? So if you want to learn exactly what we're doing to help Antonio scale, like going through the exact process that we're taking, right? What we're doing with his content, what we're doing with his funnels, what we're doing with his ads, and what we are doing to scale. There's actually this video right here. What do we do to get these results and how we're scaling this? Explain the whole process step by step. Then check this video out right here. It's on my YouTube. All right, what's up, guys? 1 subscriber, so please subscribe. Trying to scale this, and it's this video right here. So if you guys enjoyed it, you can subscribe. I'm trying to grow this YouTube to something, and yeah, that's gonna be it for this video. I appreciate you watching, and I'll see you in the next one.